Hi there, welcome to Conf42 Cloud Native. I'm very happy to be with you today to share some knowledge, some content, some news about Java in the Cloud Native world. My name is Moraes, I work for Red Hat, and today I will give you the session Your Java Code Cloud Native Ready, a live experience. And why live experience? Because everything that I'm going to show you starting from now, it's based on live coding sessions and live coding. Okay, so I will start by showing a demo. So it's demo time right now. Okay, I will switch here to my terminal and I will move here to my blue-green, yes, and here OC project, blue, green, canary. Okay, let me explain a little bit before I start. Let me also increase the size of my fonts. Okay, great. What I'm going to do right now? Well, we are talking here about cloud native applications. When we think about cloud native applications, we hope, we expect that this application has some features. Like, for example, what I'm going to show right now, it's what we call service mesh features. What is service mesh? It's a layer that you can have on top of your application that will manage, that will handle all the traffic in order to provide to your application the security that it needs, the load balancing, the traffic management, and other stuff. Okay, so this demo that I'm going to show you right now, it's for this matter. Okay, so this is a what we call blue-green deployment. So I will open here. Here it is my demo. So if you pay attention, you will see that my screen is switching between blue and green. So this is the same application with two different versions. One version is a blue version and the other version is a green version. If I check here my Kubernetes, we will see that I have here the blue version of my application and the green version of my application. Okay, so of course I have a load balancing working in this application, and each request to the application, the load balancing is switching between green version and blue version. Okay, all right, so what I'm gonna do right now is to add a new version of this application, a canary version. What I'm gonna do is right now, I will deploy here the version canary. Just to explain why we wait a little bit, I have here tons of scripts as you just saw, because it will make my life easier in order to show this demo to you. You can see that the canary version is already working. We will see it on the browser a little bit. Okay, it's already working. So I have all those scripts just to make my life easier. Of course, when you are working in production, you will also build your own scripts to make your life easier. Okay? So here, but basically what I will do in this few minutes showing this demo is switching my YAML files in order to manage the traffic and the routes to my application. Okay, so great. Here I have my application working with three versions right now. So I have one version that is blue, one version that is green, one version that is yellow, the canary version, and my load balancer is load balancing, okay, the request between those three versions of the application. Great, awesome. Right now, let's do some, let's play with the traffic to this application. So I will check my scripts here. So now let's switch the traffic only to blue version. Wait some seconds to this. Okay, now it's done. Let's wait. And now we have just the blue version of the application being considered by the load balancing. Okay, so now just the blue version. Now let's switch to green version. Wait a few seconds to switch to green and stick with the green version. And now we will switch to yellow version, canary, and now we have just the canary version. Again, what does it have to do with Cloud Native? one of the main aspects of cloud native application is that you should be able to make some changes. This is the right word for this, without downtime to your application. So you can see that I made three changes on the routes to my application, the traffic to my application, without downtime. Okay, so the users are still accessing my application and there is no downtime. All right, let's try something else. Where are you? Great. So now, as you can see here, I'm using a Chrome browser. So what I'm going to do right now is to change. I will make the Chrome users will stick with the green version, and the Firefox users will stick with Canary version. So I will change here the Canary to Firefox, and let's open a Firefox window here. Just a second. Great. So demo eldermind.com. Okay, so everything is working. Yes, it's working. So we are using here Firefox. Firefox is sticking with the Canary version, and the Chrome is sticking with the green version, right? Great. I have some other options here if I show you, but as we have some limits of time here, I could, for example, move everyone that is working with Android to the Canary version, and everything else, every other users stick with green, and here just with iPhone, and here just with everyone that's using mobile. Okay, so by having this kind of approach on your architecture and your application being built using this approach, you can have all these options. And this is a very simple example, you know, but just to give you the kind of possibilities that you have cloud native approach when building your application. Okay, just for starting right now, I will show you much more code in a few minutes, but here this is our first example here. This application is a Java application using cloud native approach. Good. Let's switch to slides again. Okay, so this was our first demo. And just for you to know me, if you haven't, my name is Moraes. I work here for Red Hat as a developer advocate. Here I'm in Brazil, I'm Brazilian, based in São Paulo. This is a QR code for my mailing list and also the URL if you would like to receive some content about Java, Cloud Native, microservice, containers, Kubernetes. I share in this list. Okay, so just subscribe. I will not send you any spam. Okay, I'm a board member also at SoJava, one of the biggest Java user groups in the world, and I'm also the author of the Jakarta EE Cookbook. And I'm very happy with this book because in the first 24 hours, it reached the top 1 on Amazon United States. So it's a great book. If you work with Java on an enterprise environment, maybe my book would be helpful for you. And also my mission here as not only a Red Hat, but as a professional, is to help Java developers around the world to build and deliver awesome applications, right? So our cloud native application today, we have some stuff. So basically we use microservice approach. That's one of the fundamentals of cloud native application. Not that you have to use microservice, but you should use because some features that I will show you in a few seconds. Also, I will use REST client. I will use health check because your application will run on some orchestrated environment, and by that it should have some health check possibilities for your orchestration being able to manage your application. Also, we will work with metrics for observability. We will use reactive both with Mutiny and Kafka, and also we will deploy our application using containers and Kubernetes. Okay, and let's move to code time. Starting from now, we will not see any slides anymore. Okay, just one last slide in the end of the session. Amazing. Let's change some stuff here. I will move here, check if it's okay. So let's forgot the dash. Oops. Okay, perfect. And also I will switch my namespace to this one. If you don't know what I'm doing here, I'm connected to a Kubernetes cluster that is hosted on the cloud, in this case on AWS. So I'm really working in a Kubernetes here. So let me just check this namespace is clean. So we are able to move on. Okay, no resources, so all good here. Okay, so I will build a Java application from scratch, and it will keep adding some features to help this application to work with the best approaches, best practice when we talk about cloud native application, cloud native world, cloud native approach, and whatever you name it. I will build a application, Java application using Quarkus. Why Quarkus? Because Quarkus will give me a lot of productivity. I have a lot of extensions, Quarkus extensions that will make my life much more easier when building this cloud native application here today. All right, so I will just open, not a comma, it's a dot. Okay, all good. So it will open my virtual Visual Studio Code, and I will use Quarkus have an integration with Maven, and there is a feature in this plugin called developer mode. So by using mvn Quarkus dev, what it will do right now is to compile my application, to bootstrap this application, so this application will keep running, and every change that I do in this application will be hot deployed. Okay, so once I call this application, all the changes will reflect on my application. Right? So this application started in 1 second. It's great, especially for a Java application. Okay, so let me tweak my screen here and switch to this. Okay, all good. So let me show you. Oh, good. Great. I will remove the test folder. Don't do that, all right? I will just do that for the sake of the time here while we are working on this demo, but you should not remove the test, all right? Okay, guys. What I'm gonna do right now is to start building this application. As you said, we have a base project built on when we created this project using Quarkus. I have even a REST endpoint ready right here. So I'll call here. Okay, as easy I can change here to hello Conf42. Okay, and I changed this application, and this application was hot deployed in 600 milliseconds. Okay, so this is very, very fast. Okay, guys, let's build this application because we are really excited here today. We'll start by adding some data management in this application. So by that, I will add some extensions. So first, I will add extensions to work with data. So JSONB, JGBC, and Hibernate to work with Panache. That is the default data management for Quarkus. Okay, so let's start building our classes. First, we will add some configurations. Always, okay. So we'll add some. I will not deep dive in too much details. My intention here is to give you a bigger picture of this, because it would take hours to explain every single bit that I'm showing you right now. But I will give you a whole picture of all the possibilities that we have with Java in the cloud native world today, especially when working with Quarkus. I will build this. It will be my entity. Okay, so the fruit. This first application I will build here will manage fruits. Okay, so I have here first my entity for fruits, and I will build my REST endpoint here, my resource, the fruit resource, and this it will have will list, of course, the fruits. So if I go right now on my terminal and using this guy. Okay, so change detected, 1.5 seconds to do a hot deploy. Of course, my database, it's empty. Okay, and let's right now add a new method here to add a new fruit. Okay, so I just created this method here. I will call this new method by not hot deploying the application, because it will do for me in 475 seconds. And now I have a banana in my database. Okay. Okay, but I would like to do something more scalable. So I will add a new file to this folder here, which will be a import.sql, and add some new fruits to my database, and it will call again. Okay, I still have a banana. Sometimes I need to redeploy. The good part, to even if I need to redeploy, is that Quarkus will do it really fast. Okay, so how many? 2 seconds, 2.7 seconds. Okay, so not anything at all. Okay, so now I have a lot of data in my database. What I'm gonna do right now is to add a custom finder. Okay, so because if you paid attention here, I'm using a list all that is from my entity. Okay, so I will add a new finder here that is my finder, where I will pass a season and will list fruits based on the season. So right now we just change our REST endpoint to be able to use this new parameter. Okay, so I have a new parameter here where I will use to list by season, and I can again run this call here, but for example using summer, and now I have just the fruits that is based on summer. Now we are good to take this application and deploy on the cloud, deploy on my Kubernetes cluster. So what I'm going to do right now is to add a new extension, 2 extensions. One is Quarkus Kubernetes, and the other is Quarkus Container Image. Okay, so one will build the container image, and the other one will use to deploy on the Kubernetes. Okay, so we add some new properties for this application. So let's switch here. Okay, I will make some changes. This one will be Docker IO. This one will be Elder Moraes. Let's remove the spaces, because YAML will not work with spaces. And right now, how can I take this application and create a container image and deploy it into the cloud? It's very simple. MVN clean package. Okay, we'll package the application, but I will pass one parameter: quarkus.kubernetes.deploy equals true. Oh, I forgot something. Stop. I need to log on my Docker registry. Okay, great. Now we are good to go. So right now it will package the application, will build the container image, and will deploy this application on my Kubernetes cluster. If we don't have any mistakes. All right, let me check here. This is the beauty of the live coding session. We are able to debug the application. I need to add one guy here to trust on the certification. Now, I hope it will work. All right. Okay, guys, this is the real life. You know, on your daily basis, you will face this kind of, now we are going. Okay, guys, so it's basically building the image, and we'll start the process of pushing this container image on my my Kubernetes. Okay, so let's watch kubectl get pods. Yes. Okay, so my application is already running. Okay, already running. It's really fast because Quarkus starts really fast. How can we access this application? I have a service. Oops. kubectl. Oh, let's see the DNS of this application. Is this guy here? And by experience, I know that it will take like 1 to 2 minutes to really respond. Okay, so but let's check. Curl. This guy. Hello. Oh, it's working. Oh, wow. It was really fast today. Okay, I change here to fruit. Okay, wow. It's there, it's working. Okay, so sometimes it takes like 1 to 2 minutes, but today we were looking, it's already working. So I took this application I just created on my machine and deployed on the cloud. Okay, of course, we are not done. We are still have a lot of stuff to do here, and let's go forward. Right now, what we are going to do is to add some new features to this application. So first, I will add another extension, the REST client extension, and I will we have fruits here, okay, so but we have just the name and the season. I would like to add some data to these fruits, and I will do that by using an external service. So I will connect to this external service using a REST client. Okay, I add the extension and we'll create some other classes here. So I will create another class here to work with. This is the fruit device. The name of the service that I will use is called fruit device. I will create another interface that will be my interface between my local application and the remote service. Oops. Right here. Okay, so basically this is the API, it's an interface, this is the path, and this is the method that I will call on this remote application. I will add the address of this application, is this guy here. Okay, you can check afterwards online, fruitdevice.com. It's where I will get the data that I need to improve my application. Okay, I will create a DTO .java. As I said, I will not deep dive into too much details to save time and show you much more stuff than go into much details. And now I will change my fruit resource in order to use our new REST client. Okay, so now we are using the fruit device to add some new data to our fruits. So let's call again our application. So again, using summer. Okay, detected some changes, 1.2 seconds. And now I not only have the fruit name and the season, but I also have carbohydrates and calories. And these two guys here are coming from the fruit device. So by using my REST client, I'm able to connect with remote applications and get some data and add to my local application. Great. So moving on, now I'm adding some health check features to this my application. And why I'm going to do that? Because as I said in the beginning of the talk, when our application is hosted on an orchestrated environment, the orchestrator should be able to look to our application and know two stuff. One, your application is live, and two, your application is ready. Because if it's not live, it will kill the application and create it again, and it's not ready, it will wait until it's ready. Okay, so your application should be able to provide this kind of information to the orchestrator. And here we are using a Kubernetes, so that's how Kubernetes will manage the application. I just added the extension for health check to this application. And one cool stuff, I will even open on my browser better picture of this. If I just call here /health, it will give me the information, because by just adding the extensions, it adds the feature to the application. So I didn't need to code anything, but I will, because I would like to customize this health check feature. So I will create two probes, one liveness probe and one readiness probe. So let's create them. Okay, so liveness probe, and the liveness probe will just say, well, I'm live, I'm not. If it says nothing, it's not live, okay? But if it's working, it will just respond this guy here. And here you can customize, I'm live, C42, for example. And the other guy is the readiness probe. The readiness, it's where probably you will add some rules, some more complexity, because it's what is ready for the application. It could be to be able to access some database. It could be to be able to access some other service. So until you are able to check this, you will not respond as I'm ready, okay? But in this case, we are just building a custom example here. And if I just call this guy again, now I have the specific responses, both from the liveness and from the readiness, okay? Good, so we are now, our application is connecting with remote applications, is giving health check responses. Now let's add some metrics. Here we add the Quarkus micrometer, okay? Quarkus has integration with also the MicroProfile metrics, but the default today is micrometer for Quarkus, okay? But it still have support for MicroProfile metrics. But here today I will show you using micrometer. Here's the only one that I need to change the PON file. So I will, okay, this guy. Okay, I will create a specific class to show you how to use the metrics. Okay, let's go here, new file, Java, and here is my time resource. So basically here, it will work by using annotation. So I define this, that this method here is being counted. Okay, so the metric that we use here is counted, and the name of this metric is time.now. Oh, this guy here I will use by this way. Great. Let's compile this application. No, we're not compile, just call. Okay. Let's see if it will work without. Okay. Great. So took 1.4 seconds to hot deploy the application, and here we'll call a few times just to have some data. And right now I will open, as we did with the health, we can did with metrics. So just use here metrics. Voila, it's here. Time. So here we have that metric that we created, and we know here that we call it 30 times, and we have some other information. Basically, it's just a counted metric, so it's just counting. Okay, so here you know where it is, deception, and so on. Now the two last parts of this session, I will start working with reactive features. So let's add a extension for Rest Easy Mutiny that we will use right now. We will move away from the fruits and we'll dive into beer. So our application will start working with beer. So I will create here a beer class that will be our kind of entity. Okay. So I have here, Actually, it's a pojo. Okay, it's not an entity, but that's fine. Let's create now a beer service. Beer service that is our REST client for this service. We'll work with beer. We will add again another address for this guy. It's not routes anymore. Now it's API, Punk API. And we'll create a resource. Oops. Java. Okay, so this is our service. And pay attention that we have, as we work with reactive using the Mutiny extension, the producers keep doing the application JSON, but here on the method, the return is a muti. Okay, that's the kind of return using by Mutiny. Okay, all right. If everything is working, we should be able right now to call our application. So let's call here. Okay, let me try again. If not, we will. Okay. Sometimes took some time to connect to the remote application to get the data, but if not, we will just redeploy. All right. Yes. Now we have this beautiful list of beer. I love beer. Okay, so if you love beer as well, maybe you know what I'm talking about. So we have just this remote service, but right now I'm using a reactive approach to gather all this data. Okay, and the last part, now we are almost done here. We will keep doing reactive approach, but right now using reactive streams with Kafka. So let's add a Kafka extension here. Okay. And okay, good. And this application, now we work it in this session with fruits, then with beer, now with wine. I do love wine as well. So let's work with some wine here. We already also have a Ojo. This new application, we will work with prices of the wine. So let's create a priced wine class. Okay. And we will create, we not have a database, of course, but we will create a class called here wine generator that will help us to, guess what? Generate wines. Okay. We will create a resource that will be our endpoint. So, and this guy here. Okay, so we have here the channel that we will connect on the Kafka, that is priced wine. The return is also a muti, as we saw on the last example, and we will get the information that are priced wines. Okay, for doing that, we will also need, guess what, a Kafka. Okay, so we will make some, add some new properties here. I will create a Docker Compose file to spin up a Kafka on my machine, my local machine here. So basically, I will create this Docker Compose. Let's edit this file, and I will add what we need here. Okay, let me see. Basically, this example, we work with Kafka, Zookeeper, and a price generator service that I just created here. So I will restart this application. I will split this guy here, cd git live tutorial, and Docker compose up. Okay, so this will spin up a Kafka on my machine. I hope everyone is connected right now. And let's try it. I will call this new service, and voila, I'm using a wine generator to populate my Kafka and getting a list of wine with prices. All right, good. So, well, we did it. We made it. Okay, guys. Really, really help when things just work. This was our code time. So I would like to end just sharing with you this QR code and this URL from developers.redhat.com, our Red Hat Developers program, where we share a lot of content about Java, containers, microservice, Kubernetes, all the cloud native related stuff. You can just subscribe and we will send to you when we have news about it. Okay, so in the portal, there are a lot of content, all free, all open source, because everything that we did, everything that we do on Red Hat is open source. Okay, so we are very happy to share all this with you. And just to say goodbye to you, I'm really happy that you shared your time with me in these few minutes in this session. I hope you enjoyed, and you have here my Twitter, okay? So you can reach me on Twitter if you have any questions and comments. Just please share with me. I will be very happy to talk to you. See you next time. Have a great conference, and bye-bye.